The rugged bushland and soaring cliffsides of Tasmania create a wonderland for the adventurous. But what about the landscape hidden below the surface? Remarkably diverse, vibrant, and unique. A world that remains out of view for most travelers. Step outside of the ordinary and into Tasmania. Sitting on the east coast of Tasmania, the Tasman Peninsula is home to the tallest sea cliffs in the southern hemisphere. We are like moths to a flame when it comes to dramatic landscape like this, so we made our way to Tasman National Park. I didn't know we were going to make that. Setting up camp for the night in the highly popular Fortescue Bay, we set our sights on hiking to Bivouac Bay for a small taste of the iconic Tasman coastline.
Alright, so we're just signing the book to go on a hike in Fortescue Bay to the Bivouac Bay.
The hike to Bivouac Bay is a breezy 3-hour return, starting at the white sand beach of Fortescue Bay and wrapping along the vertical cliffside.
So, Julie's just filling up the form in case we don't make it back. And yeah.
Alright. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Start of the hike. Who knew? Little water crossing to start. Woo! Julie already crossed.
The water is warm.
Water, so.
It's good.
Over there.
Okay. Going to Bivouac Bay. As one of Tasmania's 60 great short walks, the trail gently climbs through the eucalypt forest and surrounds you with ferns and the sound of wallabies rustling in the bush.
I almost ate it.
When you finally emerge to a clearing over the cliffside, the view is straight out of a Discover Tasmania ad. This is why I love Tasmania. Sneaky. We actually continued a bit past Bivouac Bay and found the most perfect lunch spot, looking across the bay at the vertical cliffside of Cape Way.
Next week.
The pink ribbons that can be seen on the surface of the water are actually bioluminescent algae that will light up the coastline at night.
Sure.
After our lunch with a view, we packed up and started making our way back, finding some interesting signs of marine life along the way, like this massive whale vertebrae.
Imagine the size of what that used to belong to. We are at Canoe Bay, and we just did a beautiful hike, about 14 kilometers, and now we're at the site of this little wreck. So we have our masks. We don't have wetsuits, fins, or anything else, but we have the mask, the snorkel. So we're gonna try to get in and I guess do a little wreck dive. I don't know. That's a first for a hike, but you can see it's only half submerged in the water. So yeah, let's take a look. Beautiful. Looks pretty shallow, and yeah, I guess we're gonna go for it.
The William Pitt barge was used throughout the 1940s in the construction of the predecessor of the Tasman Bridge, later being sank at the mouth of Canoe Bay to be used as a breakwater for small fishing boats. While the water was frigid, this was the first time we had had the chance to put our masks on and explore Tasmania underwater. Although the visibility was less than ideal near the wreck, in the shallows we were able to find something incredible. A black sea hare, the largest kind of sea slug in the world. Surprisingly, this little buddy is rather small, as they can grow up to 40 centimeters in length. While our time in the water here was short, we left with a renewed sense of adventure and knew that we needed to get back in the water and explore this new world. And so tomorrow we would do just that.
Oh, didn't sound good.
Situated at Eaglehawk Neck on the Tasman Peninsula, you'll find Eaglehawk Dive Center.
Farm animals here.
As the only dive center on the peninsula, Eaglehawk is the go-to spot for expertise on local diving. Although we only came to the shop for tanks, our new friend, dive instructor Francois, was happy to show us around the hobby farm that is also run by the shop.
And they always think that we've got food, so they would come to you like, you've got food.
Oh, are they allowed to come out?
Yeah.
And of course, we were happy to help with egg collection duty.
Then after, sometimes you will need to just take the chickens out because they are trying to cover them, and you're like, no, it's for us. Do you find some?
Oh yeah. I think there's like 5 in here. There we
Just out of the us.
I can't say I've ever gone to a dive shop and collected eggs before.
Now equipped with full tanks, we are off to our first dive in Tasmania. A shore dive at the beautiful and sheltered Safety Cove.
Oh, this is beautiful. What do you reckon?
I reckon we're going diving.
We're going diving!
As this is our first dive after returning to Australia, we first have to reassemble our backplates and wings and check over our gear. Safety Cove is an easy and shallow site to get a taste of diving on the peninsula. The water is also substantially colder than on the mainland. At home in Nova Scotia, Canada, we dive all year round in the frigid North Atlantic, but usually cozy and warm in our dry suits. This dive will also serve as a test for us to see if the 5mm wetsuits that we travel with are enough to keep us warm in the 14-degree water, before we can go off and do deeper dives. We can already tell that the visibility is looking fantastic, and we are definitely in for a treat. Vibrant, yet muted in color, the unique temperate water marine life is bustling. weaving in and out of kelp beds and along seagrass meadows. The underwater world of Tasmania is known largely for its vast kelp forests. Towering overhead, the kelp, even at this shallow shore dive, is mystifying. Although it is only a fraction of what used to thrive along these shores. An estimated 95% of the giant kelp in Tasmania has been decimated by increases in water temperature and invasive species over recent years. Luckily, many local marine scientists and divers are working on reviving these giants to their former glory. While we continue along the reef, something catches the corner of our eye. Something we have never seen before. The Australian swell shark, also known as a draftboard shark. They are the most abundant cat shark species in Tasmania and South Australia, and generally measure between 1 to 1.5 meters long. What an awesome surprise! We are always happy to meet new shark friends. As our first time exploring the underwater world of Tasmania, we can definitely say that it is incredibly unique and spectacular. And there is so much we have yet to explore on this coast. Sea caves, seal colonies, sponge gardens, and shipwrecks. We cannot wait to get back in the water as soon as possible. So far from our time in Tasmania, we can easily say that every inch of this island is breathtaking, above or below sea level.